Hello, ons got here playing the game Montgomery Fox and the Case of the Missing Ballerinas. I came straight from the station. What's so urgent? It's about Lazy Dog. Yes, I saw that from the telegram, but what could a petty criminal have you so worried? Steal the ballerinas? It's not funny, Montgomery. We heard from a reliable source that he was talking to someone on the phone, and he said that ballerinas from a theater. Unfortunately, yes, the two of them are gone, and as if they have disappeared into thin air. I can't believe Lazy Dog is a murderer. We don't have much time, Fox. Use your method to track down the ballerinas. We're going after Lazy Dog. Hmm. Something tells me things are not as they seem at first glance. Terrible, unbelievable, catastrophic. The director of the theater was beside himself with anger and fear. The big premiere should take place in 10 days, and his ballerinas seem to have completely disappeared. If they did not show up soon, both his career and credibility will go down the drain. They just must be there for the premiere. I tried to calm him down, but I didn't succeed in the end. He said some even broke into the wardrobe. Several costumes are missing. I said it was completely irrelevant at this point. He begged me to find the ballerinas, and I promised him I would. I just hope I find them alive. I found the pizza chef at work. Ballerinas? What ballerinas? This is not, a theater. This is a pizzeria. I'm just a simple man. I make pizza. It is true that Lazy Dog comes here, but he's a customer just like everyone else. He always pays fairly and never makes trouble. And I don't know anything about ballerinas. I have never seen one in my life. Do you want me to make you a Napolitan pizza? It's the most popular one. No thanks, I said. Well, take this pamphlet then. There's the daily menu for you, and my children made me put my picture there as well. They said it's so modern now. I took the pamphlet, thanked them, and left. If only I wasn't on a diet. The pizza really smelled wonderful. I don't know why, but I didn't like this guy from the start. He was fairly full of himself. Only a select clientele comes here. I believe ballerinas do as well. They are also part of high society. Local businessmen also come here. Very nice people. You have nothing to look for here. This is not your ghetto. My friend, you recently crawled out of my ghetto. It's obvious at first glance. The only thing that makes you stand out is that overpriced watch. Where did the bellboy get the money to buy something like that? Regardless of big tips. A nice lady. I would never have thought she's that old. She says she worked in a bakery at the train station for more than 30 years and knows almost everyone in town. She knows nothing about the ballerinas. She doesn't work at night though. Maybe that's when they chose to travel. She will ask a colleague who works night shifts. Finally, the old lady giggled and gave me a lovely fresh croissant and told me to come back tomorrow. A croissant? But then, darn this diet. The ice cream vendor boasted boasted that he know everything and everyone. Couples in love, walkers, police officers, governors with children. Unfortunately, he knew nothing about the ballerinas. He never came to him for ice cream. I guess they have to take care of their diet, he said, and ate some chocolate ice cream. As weird as this case may be, it's weirder that wherever I go, there is some tempting food. When he was leaving, he said something unrelated about the new flowers that were planted in the flower bed. I guess he's allergic to flowers. Flowers should be in the park anyway. This guy seems very suspicious to me. Some people just can't hide it. When I asked him about the ballerinas, he immediately started shouting at me. I'm a me- shouting at me. I'm a mechanic and I fix cars. I'm not a ballet dancer. What could I have to do with the ballerinas? Nonsense. It's not my fault that various people come here, even Lazy Dog. What I was supposed to tell him? Your money isn't good for me? Then he suddenly calmed down and said, please leave me alone and let me do my job. Of course I left him alone, but he blabbered on more than he should have. I didn't mention Lazy Dog at all. This guy has something to do with the case, for sure. I have to question him some more later. I have to be careful. Ballerinas, of course, they like to come here, though not so often, and they were here a few days ago. As always, they have that espresso with milk, but this time they giggled a lot, and when they spoke, they whispered to no one, so no one could hear them. Then they giggled them some more. When I came to ask them if they wanted anything else, they replied that from now on they would have coffee in a very secret place. Then they just started laughing out loud. I didn't understand what's so funny, and I haven't seen them since. Strange, if they did travel somewhere, why didn't they just tell the theater director? And if they were kidnapped by Lazy Dog, maybe it was really a night where there are fewer passengers. I still have a lot of research to do. I was hoping it would turn out that the ballerinas had traveled by boat, that this guy had seen something, but no, he hasn't seen anything. He doesn't know anyone. He doesn't care about anything. He takes care of boats coming and going, that's all. Why would he be interested in some stupid ballerinas? Are you a cop? Am I suspecting something? Am I under arrest? No? Great. Then go back to where you came from and leave me alone. Leaving the dog, I noticed something, however. I will not return immediately to check it out. I'll leave him alone for now, for a while. Ballerinas, I know of them, of course. They come some now and then. They buy small things. They left, I know that for sure. When they were last here, I heard them planning to stay at the hotel for a few days and then go on a trip with someone they said is their new manager. Who knows when they will be back? You know how it is, youth, said the saleswoman, giggling. All this tells me that they really traveled somewhere, but in what way? By train or by boat? And at what point did Lazy Dog manage to grab them? As I was leaving the flea market, the saleswoman waved at me. I had a weird feeling that she looked like someone I know. I wonder. Hey, Monty, how's it going, old boy? No one called me Monty or the old boy except our clever newspaper editor Richard. I guess someone once told him he looked like a lord and he has since convinced himself that he is of noble descent, hence the term like old guy and so on. When I told him about the case, he was surprised apparently. The police didn't inform the newspaper about it. I asked him if he could help me in any way. After all, he got some good investigative skills from the time he was a journalist. He gladly accepted, looking forward to stretching his journalist's muscles again. Any news? The theater director seemed desperate. I didn't want to lie to him. Everything is still unclear, I said. They probably left the city, but I didn't know where or by what means. They didn't go by boat for sure, but both of them suffer from seasickness. I remember we were supposed to go on a tour once, but both of them seems to refuse to board the ship. Great detail. This narrows the investigation to the train station, but that still doesn't mean I won't visit that silent sailor once more. One detail is always on my mind, and if I'm right, but we see, one step at a time. It's you again, the chef said reluctantly. What do you want now? No need to be rude to me, I replied. I came as a customer. I feel like I'm up for some pizza. You see, I'm not as stupid as I may seem. I'll just tell you briefly that my job depends on what I say. Do you understand me? Is someone threatening you or blackmailing you? God forbid, I'm just a humble pizza chef who's missing some flower pots. That's all. Suddenly, I didn't feel like eating anymore. I want to ask something else, but the pizza chef was already heading to the kitchen. Before entering, he gestures with his fingers towards his wrist. What in God's name is going on here? If it's not our poor detective who wants a sniff of the rich life. Good afternoon, Inspector. How can I help you this time? He knew perfectly well I was not an inspector, but I agreed to play his game. You're right, I admit. I would love to own a watch like yours. Where did you get it? Only the chosen ones get a watch like this. You can't buy something like that. You can only earn it. How can I earn it? Should I get a job at an hotel? No, you have to know the right people. People of prestige, terrible rich people. Reputation and wealth have long ceased to come hand in hand, except for a couple of honorable exceptions, of course. The lady from the bakery had some new information for me. I was right. That colleague of mine who worked at night told me that two young girls left by train late one night. Where did they go? I asked. I don't know. There are two trains going at night, one west, one south. Which train they boarded, I wouldn't know. It was expected for them to take the train. They get seasick on ships. You want a fresh croissant? As I was leaving the bakery, chewing on a fresh croissant, one thing bothered me. How does this older lady know the ballerinas have seasickness? I asked him again about the ballerinas. Maybe he remembered something in the meantime. Unfortunately, he had the same story. He didn't know anything about ballerinas, but he still insisted that someone did their best to decorate the park with fresh flowers. Flowers? Flowers? Wait a minute. If I'm right, this case is more complicated than I thought. I need to check something. When I last visited him, in addition to being very suspicious of me, I noticed something else strange. His shoes were covered with dry mud. When I looked now, they were still muddy. This man has been digging recently. When he saw me hanging around the store, he just glimpsed me with a look full of contempt and quickly closed the workshop door regardless. I managed to spot a dirty shovel, a pickaxe, and plenty of empty flower pots. The mystery began to unravel. How's the investigation going? The kind waiter asked me as he served me espresso. It's going slowly. Everything indicates that the missing ballerinas traveled somewhere, not by boat. You told me they giggled a lot when they talked, and I met someone else giggling as they speak. How come they both have seasickness and they ordered the same coffee? The waiter looked at me and said, "You don't know? They're sisters, twins." I was amazed by what I heard. Now I knew exactly where the ballerinas are, and what's important is that they are alive and well. Sniffer, you again. What do you want from me now? Just to apologize and ask you one more question. Aren't you bored of walking with crates? An old sea wolf like you? You're absolutely right. Instead of sealing the seas, I'm sitting here handling cargo. The other day I almost hurt my spine by unloading a terribly heavy package. Small but very heavy. And who took the package? Some guys, suspicious beyond measure. Here's what they gave me as reward for my hard work. He rolled up his sleeve and pointed to the expensive watch, identical to the bellboy's. So someone is bribing people with these watches, but why? Can I buy that watch from you? I asked. Sure. What do I need the watch for? I'm guided by the sun and the sea and the stars. At the flea market, I approached the saleswoman and then said out loud, "Good afternoon, it's always nice to see you. Your croissants are so delicious." The saleswoman began to giggle. She was glad I remembered her, and then she got serious in an instant. "What do you mean? I don't sell croissants. I'm a market saleswoman. I don't understand." "Excuse me, please," I replied. "I've probably mistaken you for someone else." The trap worked. I need to get to the Richard first. I have a small task for him. "Richard, you're going to the train station. There's an older woman working in the bakery. Then you're going to the flea market. There's a woman working there. She has a big hat and a funny sunglasses. Tell both of them you're wait. Tell them both you're writing an article about hardworking women. Women. Don't mention one of them to the other. That's very important. I call you quickly to tell you what's next. I just need to check one more detail to be absolutely sure. Absolutely spiffing, old chap, said Richard with great pleasure in his voice. And if this goes well, I promise you a story that will resonate like a bomb. I think your order has come to an end, oh your ordeal. Really, did you find my ballerinas? Where did they go? If I'm right, they didn't go anywhere. Just tell me what costumes were stolen from your wardrobe. An old woman's costume and a gypsy costume. Why? Because your ballerinas were tricked into making fun of everyone, and I think I know why. Richard, how was the conversation with those two women? Like a dream. They didn't suspect anything. They giggled all the time and couldn't wait to be invited for an interview. Great. Tell them both to be in the bakery at the train station in 2 hours. You've probably figured out what's it all about. The missing ballerinas were not missing at all. It turned out that Lazy Dog had paid them, with expensive watches of course, to disappear for a few days. He explained that he wanted to make fun of his old friend, the theater director. He told the ballerinas that they must not talk to anyone. He didn't count on the cheerful spirit, the sister said. They took the joke much less seriously than Lazy Dog had hoped. Now that the ballerinas have been found, I need to find out as soon as possible why Lazy Dog said in a phone conversation that they were buried. What is that supposed to mean? And I didn't know who I'm going to visit first. When I came to the bellboy, he just looked at me with disgust. Then I lifted the sleeve of my jacket one and showed him the watch. In an instant, fear gripped him. It was obvious. I didn't know, believe me, I didn't know. You work for him too. I didn't reveal anything to anyone, I swear. Didn't you? Well, we'll see about that. He told me to ask, to check on you. Him personally. The bellboy started sweating. You bet. Did someone mention him to anyone? No, I swear, I just helped get the box from the docks to the mechanic, that's all. You don't know what's in the box? I don't know. I swear on everything I have. Please don't tell him anything bad about me. To stay consistent with my role, I just glared at him and left. You tricked me, said the mechanic when he saw the watch on my wrist. Was that a test? Of course, I replied. You know he likes to be absolutely confident in his people. You can trust me on 100%. Yes, I know, I lied. You did a good job. Lazy Dog will be pleased. Lazy Dog? Who cares about Lazy Dog? The important thing that he is satisfied. I didn't expect this. Who is he? Of course, I'm just saying that Lazy Dog also plays a significant role in all of this. If digging ground is significant, then fine, and say hello to him. Tonight, I assume you see each other. I left the mechanic shop a little confused. I need a coffee. What's bothering you so much, sir? Only then did I notice that the waiter was standing next to me and smiling kindly. What can I tell you something? Is something is going to happen tonight and I don't know where. I missed something and I have little time to find out what. You know, maybe I can help. You? How? I'm a passionate fan of some crime novels and can at least and can list at least 10 perfect crimes for you. It was funny to listen to him. Maybe a story of the perfect crimes would clear my mind. So I told him, okay, here's a puzzle for you. How do you hide something that's buried? No one knows it is buried. And with lightning speed, the waiter gave me the solution. Money, old chap. You need to read more crime novels. May I ask you just one more question? The older the old sailor turned to me and he wouldn't say he was glad to see me. If you want your money back for the watch, that's out of the question, he said. No, not at all. I'm just going to ask you to look at this picture and tell me if this man came to pick up the crate. I showed him the pizzeria pamphlet. This man? No. It's the first time I've seen him in my life. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Please, just go out of here, I beg of you, you're causing me big trouble. I calmed down the pizza chef and told him I knew everything. Everything about the ballerinas, about the buried chest, about Lazy Dog, everything I knew. I also told him that I would solve the case in a few hours, that he would be safe. He looked at me and smiled. That's wonderful, but you know, when you catch Lazy Dog, it's just going to be the beginning of your problems. You need to catch him. Stop. But who is he? I don't know. No one knows, but he will find out about you very soon. Be careful. Be very careful. The gold bars were engraved with ballerina dancers on top. Lazy Dog, or that someone behind it all, did this to lead us on the wrong track to search for the ballerinas while they transfer the gold to save a place. Cunning. And why are you so depressed? You solved a big case. Maybe I did, and maybe you are only at the beginning. What happened to my gold? Lazy Dog has failed, boss. What do you want us to do with him? Interesting, the detective. And you said the name was Montgomery Fox? Well, Mr. Fox, you should have poked your nose where it didn't belong and you will regret it. Because no one stands in the way of Victor Draven. That was the game Montgomery Fox in the case of the missing ballerinas. So this was the speed up of the video because the first playthrough took at least almost 5 hours with all the puzzles. And thank you for watching, wish you all well, like, comment, subscribe and follow me, and see you in the next video.